that engine wasn't broke in.
I know, and we've done a job on that.
Yeah, you've done that for us.
We take care of that.
Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today we're going to meet Ron and his wife Molly, who I'm not sure we'll meet, maybe outside. It's a windy day, and so we're inside the RV. And Ron, tell us, you're living in this beautiful Winnebago Navion RV.
Yep.
How did you end up living in an RV?
So we retired about 4 years ago. Knew we wanted to get something to travel around. We live on the West Coast in Portland, Oregon area, and we have family on the East Coast. We both grew up on the East Coast, so we knew we wanted to be able to travel around. We enjoy traveling, and we also knew that a fun way to do it is in an RV. So we started looking around for about a year and a half, and at the end of 2016, we found sort of what we were looking for. The only problem was it was down in Tampa, Florida, and it was a 2015 Winnebago Navion. And some of the features that are in it is what we really liked about it. It's the size that Molly can drive, and she enjoys driving it somewhat. It has a bed in the back that you can walk around both sides of, and we'll go through and look at that later probably.
Yeah.
And it's a strong engine with the Mercedes diesel in it, the 3-liter diesel, which is a well-known and solid engine in the industry. So with all of that, we realized that what we wanted, which was the Navion 24G, which has a slide out the back. And we found one. Unfortunately, we lived in Portland, Oregon area, and it was in Tampa, Florida. So I flew there, picked it up, drove it back across the country with my brother. And that was sort of the start of all of our adventures. We bought it in December 2016. It had 8,000 miles on it. And just 2 days ago, driving to here, we just crossed over 100,000. So it has like 100,050 miles on it right now.
Wow. That's a whole lot of miles. You guys have been traveling.
Yeah, we certainly have. I think what we've realized is there's so much diversity in not just the United States, but Canada and Mexico, that we've gone to all 48 lower states. We haven't gotten to Alaska yet. We've done all the lower provinces in Canada. We also have gone through in Baja a couple of times and stayed down in Baja for this time of year is a good time to be in Baja. And I think with this trip coming back to Portland, we're probably over 15 times driving across the country. And
did you keep your home or did you sell it and go full time?
Well, that's interesting. So we still have our home in Portland, but we're in the process of trying to resolve that.
Oh.
So yeah, I think the idea is we'll probably be a little more nomadic after the house in Portland is sold.
So you tried this out, and this is what you want to do.
Yeah, we do spend a lot of time at the East Coast and the West Coast. We probably spend maybe a third of our time in the Portland area at our home there, a third of the time with our kids in the East Coast, and then the third of the time in between. Basically, that's sort of roughly what it works out to.
Right. And so with you driving this much, getting that Sprinter with its fantastic gas mileage was really important.
Yeah, one of the things I was an engineer by trade before I retired, so I do a lot of analysis work, and I've done some analysis on driving the Sprinter across, and it works out to be about, because we never go straight. We always, especially in the wintertime, we do the U. Start in Portland, go down south, go across the south, and then back up north to the DC area, or vice versa.
Right.
And it's about 4,000, between 4,000 and 4,400 miles each time. And it works out to be about $550 in diesel to do that. So it's not cheap, but it's we stay in here the whole time, and we oftentimes, especially like this with the COVID environment, we go to Walmart's BLM land, like here in Quartzsite, and that reduces the cost pretty dramatically.
Just having your own bed you sleep in is worth it to me.
It's interesting because we have driven across in a car, and it's like this toss-up between driving a car and staying in a hotel versus this, and you know, it's so much easier in here because you don't have to move anything. You just pull in, put the slide out, and you're done, and we go to bed.
As an engineer, you thought it over and made a choice to get the Winnebago Navion. And what was your reasoning in that?
So I think the key things were quality of RVs is known to be not great.
Right.
That's my saying it nicely. And
That is saying it nicely.
and I looked at enough to know that it's like, oh, this is not really great. And so what we said is, okay, well, let's make sure the chassis itself is solid. And because the Sprinter has such a good history behind it and so many miles in it, we went with the Sprinter, and then we started looking, okay, what manufacturers support the Sprinter and have things on the Sprinter chassis, and immediately went straight to Winnebago, which seems to be a high quality build in general compared to other RVs. Yeah, and buying it used was the other nice thing, because what we found was, and I think everyone finds this out eventually, is the dramatic drop in RVs is even more than cars in those first few years.
Mm-hmm.
And so this one probably was, let's see, rough numbers, probably 30 to 40% off of what the original price was when we got to it.
Wow.
So it was a big difference, and it made it affordable for us.
Right, and only 8,000 miles.
Yeah,
so
I know. It's
virtually new. That engine wasn't broke in.
I know. We've done a job on that.
Yeah, you've done that for us.
We're taking care of that.
Yeah. Although with the Mercedes diesel, it's just getting broke in at 100,000.
Yeah, people say generally 250 to 300.
Yeah.
And it's been as solid as can be. I mean,
Yeah.
we've only had one issue, and that was about 2 years ago, where the pollution, one of the pollution control sensors
Mm-hmm.
that they put in because of the diesel, sort of the diesel issues, that went bad, and so I pulled into the the Mercedes dealer in Denver, and they replaced it free of charge. They said, yeah, this is a solid vehicle. I mean, the solid engine. You should get 300,000 out of it, no problem. The only problem is these add-ons that we had to do for pollution controls.
Right.
Which is, I'm fine with that. It's just that's the one problem that they've had with them.
Well, would you mind showing us around?
Oh, absolutely. The version that we have has a bunk overhead here. This folds down. I've tested sleeping up there, and one of my brother did once, and one of the grandkids up there once. But to be honest with you, it's a storage facility.
Yeah.
It's just a coffin that you don't want to sleep in a long time. I mean, it's comfortable, but it's not my thing. The front here is the cab. This is all the Mercedes side of it. Both of the chairs spin around.
Mm-hmm. That's very nice. And the couch, I'm sure, turns into a bed.
Yeah, it turns into a bed, and the table
Just pops out.
pops up, and it stores in one of the cabinets, or you can put it in this position here if you want to. Here's the solar controller. So one of the first additions we did when we bought the RV, when we came through Quartzsite the first time, we went to Discount Solar and had an install done there for solar. We put 440 watts upstairs. We have a solar controller here, and then under here are two lithium-ion 100 amp hour batteries.
Very good.
We have the dual sinks. That's standard in the system. The 2-burner stove is probably used more than the microwave. A lot of food storage throughout.
Mm-hmm. Really well organized, and fantastic thing is all the storage they give you.
You can walk around the bed on both sides here.
Mm-hmm. That is really nice. Being able to walk around both sides, make the bed really simply.
Yep.
And they got the slide out the back, so you get the much bigger bedroom.
Yeah, and it makes a nice separation of living space. So Molly might sit up front, and I might lay back here and play a video game or something like that. Yeah, so it's worked out for us. I mean, the layout, the 24G, which is this layout, we immediately fell in love with it. And to be honest with you, in the 4 years I've seen other RVs, I haven't found another one that I like better.
Right.
It just really aligns well with 2-person living.
And this just must be a big closet?
Yeah, so my clothes are in the back. Molly's clothes are in here. Yeah, so it's a big...
Just a big closet.
Yeah.
A big closet.
Yeah, lots of room.
Mm-hmm.
That's also stores a table in there too. And then this is sort of the indoor tools up here. So I've got my tool area, and then this is all the electricals. So you have slide controllers here. This tells you the status on all of your water or your, your black tank, your gray tank storage, how much is in there, how much LP you have left. This is the generator here, but like I said, we rarely use it. And then over here is food storage.
Nice. Nice big fridge.
Yeah, so the fridge is problematic.
Really?
Yeah, it is good, a good size. This time of year, traveling east to west, it's okay. But west to east, because of the sun, or in the summertime, it's hard to keep the refrigerator at the right temperature. There's some modifications I haven't bothered doing. There's a guy, Grandpa Ron, who has a similar model to this. He has a vlog that I've followed, and it talks about how to modify the refrigerator. And I haven't done that yet, but it's. I just think the refrigerators that are designed. This is a three-way one, so it runs off of propane, it runs off of electrical, or it runs off the engine's alternator. And it's sort of like you're taking a little bit of bad off of each one, but a little bit of good off of each one of those options. And it just doesn't do a perfect job when it's super hot and the sun is hitting on that side of the RV. Bathroom, pretty standard. I think like Molly was telling you, we use this, the bottom of the shower for storage more than anything.
Yeah.
I have done a couple of mods. I put the Oxygenics nozzle on the shower head to save some water. I also swapped out. I put in a Max Air fan. In last November, I went to the Truma facility in Indiana and installed the instant-on hot water.
Oh, uh-huh.
So I have a instant-on hot water now in the system, and it's and I've started to take showers in here now. Actually, so it's really nice now to have a hot shower when you're on the road. It's like, oh, it's so nice.
Well, Ron, thank you so much for sharing your amazing home. It's beautiful and wonderful. You and Molly are very, very lucky. It's too bad we didn't get to really meet Molly, but she's walking a dog.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bob, also for everything that you've done. I came to one of your RTRs a couple years ago and spent one night here because I was passing through. And I took some of your advice. You did a special on getting dental work done down in Los Algodones, and so I followed through with that. And actually, this year I had a crown replaced in Los Algodones. So I've been really happy with that. So thank you for all your service too.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful home. It's amazing. You got a great life here.
We've enjoyed it.
So, folks, I hope you've been inspired and you've seen just how wonderful the RV and nomadic life can be.